morning! Happy Vlogmas 10 in my 13-part series of Halloween, Hanukkah, not Christmas here on my vlog channel. And actually, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today in this video. Of course, later in the day, I will do my advent calendars. We've got the Funko Pop horror icon advent calendar, as well as the crystal advent calendar. We pulled the Annabelle pop last time, so later in the vlog, I will talk about the movie and figure out what movie we're gonna watch next. But it's the morning, and I just sort of wanted to take a minute to talk about like my experience being Jewish during Christmas season. And I think kind of anybody who doesn't celebrate Christmas, is part of a different faith, sort of understands like the isolating feeling that can occur this time of year. And I just think that a lot of people that celebrate Christmas don't really necessarily understand it. So for one example, I'll have somebody ask me, what are your plans for Christmas? To which I say, oh, I don't celebrate Christmas, I'm Jewish. And they say, why? It's so fun, like all the decorations, the presents, and all of that. It's just a time to like spend with family. And what I want to say to that is, I understand that. Like, I totally get that. Sort of like people that aren't religious have taken the meaning of Christmas and sort of modernized it, made it something that speaks to them. And rather than it being like a celebration of the birth of Jesus, it's just sort of a time to spend with family and open gifts. Totally respect that. Totally understand that. From my perspective though, I can't change the meaning of Christmas in my brain because I've never celebrated Christmas. So it's not like I can take this holiday I've spent celebrating my entire life, decide I don't want to celebrate the birth of Jesus because if I don't believe in that, and then just make it a family holiday. I never celebrated it. So for me, it's a religious experience. It's a religious holiday of a religion that I don't believe in. So for an example, from like the Jewish side of it, the story of Passover and the celebration of Passover is thanking God for helping the Jews get out of slavery in Egypt and helping them escape slavery and get into the promised land. Now, for me, as someone who doesn't believe in God, I am Jewish more culturally than I am religiously. I can still celebrate that holiday and enjoy it and learn about the hardships that my people went through. But I can do it in a way where I don't thank God for it. I can just be thankful that my people were able to get out of slavery. And so for me, like that's the Jewish equivalent of like changing the meaning of a holiday to kind of like fit your own personal beliefs and values. Now, if somebody invited me to a Christmas party and was like, come celebrate Christmas with my friends or come celebrate with my family, I would totally be a part of that. I've brought friends to Jewish celebrations that aren't Jewish, and I love like showing them my culture and showing them our holidays and like what we do and stuff. That's really cool for me. But like for me to celebrate Christmas on my own, it feels icky. I don't know, just because it's not my holiday. And I want people to love and celebrate Christmas and have the best time, but also to just be kind to the fact that it's not something that everybody wants to be a part of. And I know that people always roll their eyes and like, oh, why do we have to say happy holidays now? Why can't we say Merry Christmas? And I mean, my reasoning for that is it is really alienating. And it really makes me feel like I don't belong somewhere. Because like there are other holidays that happen around this time of year. There's Hanukkah, there's Kwanzaa. Like Christmas isn't the only holiday that happens around this time of year. And I just wish that people would be more mindful of that. And I honestly think it's gotten better over the years. And it really like warms my heart like 2 days ago when Hanukkah started, seeing people that aren't Jewish posting like Happy Hanukkah on Twitter. Like I really love that. It makes me feel better. It makes me feel included. It makes me feel like people care about what I'm doing and what I'm celebrating. But being Jewish around this time of year has always felt really alienating, just mainly for the reason that people just assume that you celebrate Christmas. And it's like, okay, I feel like I've been forgotten or that people don't care necessarily about what I'm doing. Because like being Jewish, it does really come with its hardships sometimes. Like I think a good example of it, the other day I was in an Uber and the Uber driver was driving me to the airport. So he asked me like, oh, are you going home for Christmas? And I was going to Spookalla, but I don't necessarily always like to tell people exactly what I'm doing. So I said, actually, I paused for a minute. And I decided then to say, no, actually, I'm going home for Hanukkah. But it's interesting because the choice to like admit that I'm Jewish in a closed environment, in a car that I'm not controlling, is sort of like a scary decision to make. Because I know I have a lot of privilege in the fact that like my Judaism is sort of like hidden. You can't look at me and say like, oh, that person is Jewish. And then like, if you hate Jewish people, direct that towards me. That's a choice for me to make. Like, do I reveal this or do I not reveal this? I'm obviously very openly Jewish on the internet, and thankfully I've gotten no hate for it, but like, you know, it's probably gonna happen. But you know, when I'm in this car, it was a conscious choice that I had to make and decide I'm going to reveal to this person that I'm Jewish. And that could really backfire. It really, really could. And I don't think a lot of people really realize that there is that like fear that Jewish people have in like being themselves. And as I said, of course, there's that privilege of like, that's information I'm choosing to reveal. I don't have to reveal it. And I don't always, like sometimes I don't, but it's always a conscious choice. It's never something that like comes out of my mouth naturally. It's always something I take a pause and I decide, is this information I would like to reveal about myself in this particular situation? I was in a car once with two people. They were driving me home from a set and we were in Brooklyn, and they spent about 10 minutes talking about how they wanted all the Jews to die in Brooklyn. That's a situation. I'm keeping my mouth shut. I'm not saying anything because I'm in a closed environment. I'm in a car. I don't know what would happen if I then revealed that I was Jewish. And so living with all that fear and all that confusion and these like daily decisions of like, am I going to live truly as myself? When people recognize Judaism during this time of year, it means something. It normalizes being a part of this culture in a way that's powerful. And like, I really, really appreciate like people texting me Happy Hanukkah, people not texting me Merry Christmas on Christmas. Like those things like mean things to me. And I don't know. I'm just like ranting about it. I don't really know if any of this is going to make sense to anybody, you know, because I'm just sort of like rambling on about it. But Hanukkah's a really beautiful holiday. I love the decorations. I love the colors. I love the meaning behind it. I love lighting the candles, playing dreidel, like latkes, all of it. It's really great. And I just feel like people who don't celebrate Hanukkah and celebrate Christmas want us to like feel the magic of Christmas, but nobody wants to feel the magic of Hanukkah, you know? And of course there are exceptions to this rule. I love when I see people like lighting menorahs when they're not Jewish, but I feel like a lot of people probably do it wrong, which in the end of this video at night, once the sun goes down, I'm going to light my candles and I'm going to show you guys how I do it and how you're supposed to do it and like the reasons why you do it the way that you do it. Because there is a specific way to light a menorah, and it would be really cool if y'all stuck around for that to see kind of like, you know, the way that it's done. But I think like the overarching theme of this whole rant is like, I feel like for me, celebrating Christmas is giving into like what's normal, what's most popular. And I feel for myself, if I was to give into that and if I was to enjoy Christmas and celebrate Christmas, I would like be losing a little bit of myself and like my identity and who I am. And that's important to me. And I don't want to do that. Because I love being Jewish. I love being a part of this resilient group of people. One thing that a lot of Jews say about our holidays, I've heard this exact saying from like so many people, is most of our holidays are, they tried to kill us, we won, let's eat. And it really just speaks volumes to like the kind of people that we are. And it's like, no matter how much hatred is thrown our way, we're a resilient people and we will persevere and we won't let anybody get rid of us, which is, you know, what's been tried a few times throughout history. And you know, this year especially, I feel even more connected with my Judaism just because of all the craziness that's going on in terms of like rises in anti-Semitism because of one particular influential person running their mouth. That's all I'm going to say on that. So I would say this year more than ever, check in on your Jewish friends. Wish them a happy Hanukkah. Ask them like what their favorite traditions are. Like just make them feel included. That's really all it is. It's just like we want to be remembered as like, hey, we're still here. And like, we have traditions and we have holidays and like the way we always know when Christmas is, figure out when Hanukkah is and wish someone a happy Hanukkah, you know? And even like, you know, you go into stores and you see these like incredible Christmas displays. And then there's like one little end corner that's got like Hanukkah decorations. And that's like all that exists. Even on Amazon, I was like having trouble finding like cute decorations. And even like I was praising Target for having like a really big display. Like they had a lot of stuff. But something of note is like, there's two ways to spell Hanukkah in English. Obviously, it's a Hebrew word, but in English, there's two spellings. One starts with an H and one starts with a CH. And then, so I've got my garland up on my door over by my patio, but that's spelled like the HAN way. Like it starts with an H instead of the CH. And someone pointed out that like they don't spell Hanukkah that way. I spell Hanukkah starting with an H, but a lot of my friends spell Hanukkah starting with a CH. And so they can't buy any of those decorations because they can't use them. And all it would take, because this just had like little foam stickers that you would like stick on to the garland, just add an extra C, put a C in there. And then you've covered your bases, and Jews who spell it one way can enjoy it and Jews who spell it another way can enjoy it. But yeah, that's a big issue too, of like people not even like really knowing that or realizing that there are two ways to spell Hanukkah. And I think across the board, conversations of inclusivity for all different groups of people has been a huge topic of conversation. And I just don't want Jewish people to be forgotten in all of that. I want people to care about us, and I want the world to like be a little easier for us to be a part of. And I think it is getting better, and I'm hopeful for the future. And I think that these conversations are important so people can kind of just understand my point of view. I don't know if you're going to get it. And if you have questions or like you think that things weren't clear, please leave me comments down below, because I would love to clarify anything if it didn't make sense to you. But I think the bullet points are: Christmas is a religious celebration to people on the outside of it. Even if it's not a religious celebration for you, it is a religious celebration in my opinion, in my eyes, and my personal experience. And because of that, I don't want to be a part of it. I am okay not being a part of it. I'm glad to not be a part of it. I love celebrating Jewish Christmas, which, if you don't know what that is, another universal thing that Jewish people do on Christmas if they're not celebrating. You eat Chinese food and you go to the movies. So that is what I will be doing on Christmas, as I do every single year. And that tradition is really special to me. It's like Jewish people have taken that holiday and we've made our own tradition out of it. And that's what I love to do. Celebrate Jewish Christmas. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on that. I appreciate you if you've made it to the end of this and you've listened. Thank you for that. And yeah, have a happy holiday. Whatever holiday you celebrate this year, I hope it's magical. I hope it's amazing. I hope it's a time to relax and reset and see family. And if you don't celebrate any holidays, I hope you have fun traditions regardless of that. And I hope that you have people surrounding you that don't make you feel left out for the fact that you're not celebrating the big holidays, So that's all. I'm going to go food shopping, get some work done, and then once the sun goes down, I'll show you how to light the candles, and we'll talk about Annabelle and do the advent calendars this evening. And yeah, I just appreciate all of you. I appreciate that I've been able to connect with other Jewish people who have similar experiences as I do. I appreciate that I haven't received any hate for being Jewish yet, and that a lot of people seem like genuinely interested in what I've got going on. It's really heartwarming to me, and it makes me feel happy. But all right, I will see you all a little bit later today. Hello, so it is sundown, which means it is time to light the Hanukkah candles. Ignore my wet hair. I'm going to hang out with Kelly and Brian later, and we're going to play dreidel, which I'm excited about. So my hair is getting dry for that. So I first, before I light the candles, kind of wanted to explain how to light the candles, because a lot of people who do it and aren't a part of the religion and are just sort of doing it symbolically don't know how to do it properly. So for Hanukkah, you need 44 candles, but any box of candles that are like specifically Hanukkah will have the correct amount of candles, so you don't have to worry about like counting them or anything. But throughout the 8 nights, you use a total of 44 candles. So the first candle that you always fill is the center candle that will always be a little bit more raised. There are some menorahs that are different that have like the 8 slots on one side and then a raised slot on the end. That works too, but whichever one is kind of like singled out as being higher or sometimes even lower, that you fill first. This is the shamus, or the helper candle. And then for the candles representing the nights, you first put in a candle to the far right. It might be left for you because we're opposite each other, but for me, this is the right-hand side. So this is for day 1. Then you put in for night 2, and then you put in for night 3. And this is actually something interesting that I sort of realized today, was calendars where you see Hanukkah usually has the day that it starts written incorrectly. Most Jewish holidays, if not all Jewish holidays, don't run from like midnight to midnight. They run from sundown the previous night until sundown the current night. So it's sort of like split between 2 days. So for example, a friend of mine said today, happy second night of Hanukkah. Well, today was actually the second day of Hanukkah, but it's the 3rd night of Hanukkah, if that makes sense. And so then when you're lighting the menorah, you light the shamus first. Then you say the prayers. Then you take the shamus and you light the candles from left to write. So you want to light the new day first. So you never take a lighter or a match and light these candles. The only candle that will light these are the shamas. Then once it's lit, you're actually supposed to display it in a window so that people can see it. Now, this is something I don't do. Kind of speaking back to what I was saying before, I'm not comfortable displaying my menorah so that everyone in my apartment complex can see it. I don't know who lives here. You never know. And I don't want to single myself out in that way with a bunch of strangers. So I don't display it in a window. I put it where I can see it, and that's about it. And then of course, you don't ever blow the candles out. You let them burn out on their own. And yeah, that's it for lighting the Hanukkah menorah. So let's do it. And I'll sing the prayers for you because that'll be cute. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim le'avoteinu bayamim hahem lazman hazeh. And that is how you light a Hanukkah menorah. Let's get back into the living room and we'll do the advent calendars. Back in the living room for the advent calendars. First, I have to talk about Annabelle. So I've seen Annabelle Comes Home and I've seen The Conjuring. So I knew about like the Warrens and I knew that Vera Farmiga was in it. I can't remember the name of the actor. I'd never seen the first Annabelle. It was good. Like it definitely had like one moment where I was like, oh, that was a good jump scare. It didn't get me, but I did appreciate it for it probably affected somebody. I found the main characters to be kind of boring. Like, I didn't really care about them that much. Definitely exciting that the daughter, her name was Leah, spelled the exact same way. It's not a very common name that you hear in films, so that was exciting. Like, it was fun. It was cute. I liked it. It was effective, you know? Like, it did what it was supposed to. I don't think I'll be thinking about it for very long, but I'm glad I watched it. So that's my review on Annabelle. Let's see what day number 10 has in store for us. Oh my God. Little shop of horrors, little shop of terrors, bosh. Okay, I don't want to get a copyright strike. Anyway, I've never seen Little Shop of Horrors. I've seen the play. I actually saw the off-Broadway play. This is the cutest thing ever. I need to show it to you guys again. Come on, this is adorable. Also, please don't mind my green nails. They're green again now that they don't have any polish on them. That's exciting. I've never seen the movie. I hope it's good. All right, Little Shop of Horrors for the next vlog. And now let's open day number 20 in the crystal calendar. It's a bright color. I feel like it's been a while since we've had something kind of bright. Pretty. Oh my gosh, my nails are disgusting. Please don't look at them. It's like clear, but then it's got just like a touch of pink in it. And once again, I have no clue. Oh, cherry quartz. Cherry quartz. That's what this has to be. Abundance of vitality, strength, and energy. It's really pretty. I like it. Well, I'm going to go put it out onto the patio, get some moonlight. Then I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to head to Kelly's and we're going to play some dreidel. So I'll show you how that goes. Also, I'm pretty glad the candles that I got for Hanukkah are very quick candles. Like they don't last for very long. So I have to leave here in about an hour. They'll probably be done by then. Because as I said, you can't blow them out, but I also don't want to leave them lit when I'm not here. All right, let me get dressed and I'll see you at Kelly's. You should see the city lights tonight. I don't think they've ever burned this bright. Did you know when how everything would turn out? We learned to run, we learned to fight. Sooner or later, we can become strangers. Someday, somewhere, we can be new again. We can be anything
surface, I wasn't okay. I made it look the way. I'm saying you deserved it. Sometimes it just happens that way. Sooner or later, we can become strangers someday.
Hello, I'm back home from Kelly's. I probably should have showed it in the vlog, but I wasn't sure like when this was gonna come out. But I did get Kelly and Ryan gifts. I got Kelly, I bought them actually at Spookala. I got her these coasters that had the symbols of the nations from Avatar: The Last Airbender because she loves Avatar. And then I got Ryan coffee because he likes coffee. It had a funny name, so I thought he would laugh, and he did, so that was great. But yeah, that is all I got for tonight. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. This is like a very personal vlog, you know, showing how I like the candles and talking about being Jewish. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see. 한여름에도 넌 겨울.